This is a review of the Chicken Coop company. This is the Foghorn Cottage, and this is supposed to be for maybe 2 chickens. It has a nice coop, then it has a little bit of a run, but just put it together. It took about maybe an hour and a half to assemble it. It comes in 2 boxes, and I did paint it before assembly, but you can just, it's already got a stain on it when you get it. It already has kind of a red color like down here, but you could just leave that color, which looks really good, and you could just put like maybe a varathane over it to protect it from water and sunshine. I used some house paint just to kind of copy the colors of our house. So we have like a burgundy on the roof, and then kind of a yellowish body, and then white trim. But it's pretty cool. I think it's going to work out really well for our chickens. So it comes with a little plastic piece here. You can slide it shut to prevent air from coming through from cold, and you can open it up in the summer. It has a little door here to get into the coop. It has 2 latches. This is one that they put in the instructions. It comes with an extra one too, help defy predators when they try to get it. Open that up. Look inside. You have a couple of roosting poles there, and then you have that area back there is protected from the rain and the weather for the hens to nest. And then this thing pulls out pretty easily, and you can clean the droppings. Slide that back in. So it's pretty well made. This is made in the USA, so pretty strong. There's ones that are less expensive that come from China, but maybe won't last up according to most of the reviews. It has a little door that you can access by pulling out here to let the chickens out, and then in the nighttime you can close it. It also folds down. It's kind of cool. And I'd say the only thing that took a while with this at all is just the painting. You don't have to paint it. You can just, I would advise adding that, like a varathane stain though would be good. You could spray paint it on, or you could just brush it on, probably be the easiest. Got good construction on the roof. It has a nice like plastic, and then covered with nice wood. And this is a way to get your chickens in and out. Again, you got 2 latches, which is smart. And let's see, anything else interesting? And we have the hen box over here, and it is supported at the bottom by the end of this wire. Chicken run has really good support. Some of these are just, on other models, are just hanging out, and they tend to collapse after a while. It has some flashing here to keep water from getting in. It has nice 2 hen boxes placed for the nest. Has a good clasp here to keep the critters out. So pretty happy with it so far. We just built this inside, but of course we'll carry it outside. Probably weighs about 90 pounds, so a couple of people could pick this up and carry it. We're just gonna take it out the sliding glass door. So pretty happy with this. I think it's gonna last. I got a feeling that this one would probably go for 4 to 5 years. And it is repairable, I would think. If it starts to have problems with the weather, you probably just apply new paint like you do for your house. So I hope that's been helpful to you guys, but I think it's going to be a really good chicken coop. Here's a piece from the Leghorn Cottage. Just doing the white trim first, and then I'm going to paint later the body colors in here. There's just the outside white trim. They do mention that it's good to paint it or stain it, because the bare wood probably won't stand up very long to the weather and the moisture. I did notice that as I painted, got kind of some bleed through. It's really good quality paint, but still I got some bleed through. So I'm going to try using some Krylon flat crystal clear sealant. I'm going to spray it on, and then I'll paint again and see if we can have a better look, because this just has kind of that bleed through. Let's give it a try. So we're going to paint a little bit, and then we'll paint it with this first, and then we'll paint it with the white paint again. So this is just like a flat texture, and that's good because shiny wouldn't be that great for paint sticking to it. So I'm also just using it on that bare wood. You can see though that if you just use this sealant on the bare wood, it looks pretty good. See the difference between that one and then where it wasn't sealed. Pretty nice. Looks good. So we'll let that dry and then we'll do a test. Here's one where just put on a real light coat with the white paint, and this is the bottom aspect that would actually be in contact with the soil. So you definitely don't want to have just this lightweight stain that comes from the factory. You want to do something, paint it or stain it or both. So I'm going to stain it first, and then I'll paint over it, and we'll show you guys the results. But definitely the areas that are going to come in contact with the weather, like the roof panels, and these that come in contact with the soil, you want to seal it up. We'll be putting together the Chicken Coop company's Leghorn Cottage. These are all the pieces. When you get it, they're going to be, all the pieces will be this color, and it has like a little bit of stain on it. But I found that best probably not to paint it. I think I like the paint multicolor, but this stain does not take light colors very well. When I painted the roof sections like a burgundy, it only took one coat. But if you want to paint something white like this, unless you seal it first, it'd take maybe 3 coats. So probably best to, if I had to do it over again, I would, before I put it all together, I would just keep the same color, and I would just stain it with a Varaphane like coating, so it would make it more weatherproof. Because if you just assemble it the way it is and you put it together and put it out in the weather, it's not going to last very long because it's not that great of a coating. Probably lasts maybe a few months. Each piece has a little marking on it that helps you know, is like, this is an M, and if you look at the directions, it'll show you all the different pieces. Like there's that M, and it says there's one of them. There's 2 of these panels. They're all marked, so it's really easy to put together. All you really need is Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to use a screw gun to make it a little faster. All the fasteners are marked with numbers. This is 1, 2, 3 different size screws, 4, 5, 6. They have different hardware pieces, a couple of latches. So it should go together really easy. Page 1 just shows you all the pieces. They give you one extra fastener of each, which is good. And then step 1's pretty easy. It just shows you what kind of screws you're supposed to use, and then shows you which sections to put together. So A, B, C, and D are the names of the panels. You're going to use 8 PT screws. They're in bag number 2. It's that one. And then there's a latch, P9, one of these guys. It's important to use the pre-drilled holes, which is cool. Be sure to line up the panels before putting them together. Start screwing from the top and work your way down each panel. Looked complicated at first, but hopefully it came together easy for you. So it looks good. We'll go ahead and do that. So putting panel A to panel D. We'll start at the top on the pre-drilled. We're using the right screws. I'm gonna go kind of loose. The next one, there's little pegs that help index it. It's going together tighter. Get this one. Go. Okay, we're going to do A to C next. So this is C going into A, and we have these little pegs. You're going to go into these holes, and we'll screw them in. It just helps you kind of get it indexed. Just going to go in loose, start at the top. Tighter. You'll do the back panel. Position. I'm going to lift it up. Put it into those little spots. It's really good to have those pegs. It really helps. There we go. We'll go ahead and add the screws. Add this panel in here. These screws in. Start at the top.
This one.
I got the clutch set at 6, so I don't strip anything. Got it. Okay, just gotta do the little latch on the front. Before I do this latch, there's little tiny holes, guide holes that are there, but I'm gonna go ahead and pre-drill these screws before I add the hardware, just to make it a little bit easier. Just gonna support it from behind. Get the screw started. Go all the way in, then back it out. And I'll do the same. Little tiny holes there, just to give you a good reference. I know it's hard to see on camera, but it shows you exactly where the screw goes. I want to support it so I don't put too much pressure on it. One more little screw right there.
So that'll make it easier to put on this latch. It's right there. Then we got the screw going. And one over here. That's great. I'll go ahead and tighten those up.
Get it up better. Add the other 2 screws. one's all done. That's kind of the main body. You got the latch on there. Step 2, we're going to attach the little part you climb up on. We're going to use 4 of the P5 screws. Step 2 is just putting this for the chickens to go up, and go through that door. So we're adding these screws. Got to be a little careful not to go too high with these, because then they'll go into this guide and the door won't close. So you have to come down about probably an inch. Put those screws in. And get nice and level. You got one screw in there. We're going to the other ones. When I painted these pieces, I actually ended up painting this side red, so I'll redo that, and this should be the one that gets weatherproof. Although this is inside of a roof, so it's not critical. You could even leave this the way it is. Okay, step 3. That's step 2, just putting on that little ramp. Step 3. Is, I'm going to skip the page. There we go. Okay. Step 3, we're going to get a build out on the side, that open side for the hens to sit in. So we're going to get a G, an H, and an F. And these pieces do have a little, you have to look carefully, but they have little letters on them. You paint over them, then you have to just kind of look at it, the way it looks as a reference. We'll get an F, an H, and a G. Step 3, we're putting on these little side ones, and once we put in these long ones, the P1s, 4 of them. So we're going to put in 2 down here, and there's going to be 2 up higher also. Putting in these P1s, these are the longest screws. Four of the P3s, these are a little smaller. These have pre-drilled holes right here. It's all lined up pretty good. Put one down lower. Okay, that's good. So that's held in by 2 little guys there and 2 long screws here. I'm going to do this side. So this one's a little warped. I'm going to push it out, get it to line up, and then I'll go ahead and tighten the screw. It's probably pretty common to get warped. There we go. I'll add one below that. There we go. Okay, now we're going to attach screws coming in this way to hold on this panel. Those are going to be, I need 6 of them. They're going to be P2s. P2s, there's 6 of them, 3 for each side. It's going to go in this way to hold this panel together. So I'll go ahead and line this up. The height right, get the sideways alignment right. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and tighten that one up. Just want to make sure these 2 are flush. We'll always start at the top. Okay, that's good. We'll do the bottom one next. I'm going to put one in the middle. So feel free to kind of push in to get the panels flush before you tighten the screw. Okay, cool. Step 4 pertains to building this little run, and that's going to be using J, I, and K. Should be easy. We have to put on a latch too. So we're building that run. We have it's the L, this is the J, this is the K, and that's the, I'm sorry, this is the I, that's the L, this is the K, that's the J. So we're going to put a couple of these, which are the P2s, in here. Start at the top, at the bottom. We have to add a latch here too. Okay, we'll do that on the other side. Start at the top. Okay, we're going to connect these pieces to there. These are the last of the P1s to do these connections. Just going to line it up. One at the bottom. Got a pre-drilled hole there. Okay, into the other side. So part of what's going to keep this pretty strong structurally is adding the roof panels. This ties it all together. Putting this latch on, get that one on, and go ahead and put this one on. Okay, that's the end of step 4. So step 5, I'm going to put in the roofs. And then we're going to put in where the hens sit, and then we're going to put on a little extension piece. We're going to put a number N in the position where the hens sit. This little shelf. Okay, there we go. And we'll put in that little divider piece. That slot in. Okay, we're just putting the little roost bars in there. And let's see, I think they go right in these little slots. Like that. There's one. Do the other one. So they have kind of a rounded side and a square side. I think the rounded side up is correct. Attach this rod that goes to the door to give you control over the door. And it comes with a little nut and a little Phillips head screw. So probably the best thing is to open the door all the way. Give you a little more room to work. Okay, so we'll put this little pin through. Go. We'll put a little nut on there. And we'll tighten it up. Okay, so it's kind of cool. You can open and close that door. Always drop it down like that too. Okay. In step 6, we're going to put in the big drawer inside the slot. We're going to add the roof panels on. These are going to be using the P3s. There's 16 of them to get that roof on. Go and add this tray in. It's over to there. That's kind of cool. That just picks up all the stuff. So there's 16 of these P3s, and they're used to hold on the roof panels. So I kind of got the roof panel lined up the way I want it. Add these in. Okay, that's better. Till now, I got by on my own. I never really cared until I met you. The night goes by so fast. Okay. These kind of roughed in. Make sure you tighten them up. just the two. Step 7 is putting on these pieces. This is the short one, and there's a long one. We're using the P4s, there's 8 of them. We just attach them with these little pre-drilled holes. I just want to kind of line them up nice so they're in line with this line of the roofing pieces. Nice and straight, looks good. I'll put these in light first. The other two. Okay. So when you're putting together, I think it's step 1, the basic pieces. Make sure this kind of big section is on top. So this is just upside down. Flip this out, spin it around, redo it. Straight up too. Line up these little pegs. this panel. Looks good. Little roof panel for the hen house. These are P5 screws. Okay, so we have the middle one first, and we'll put in the side ones. Make sure hinge is okay. Looks good. Latch lines up good. Flashing piece. I'm going to line it up with this piece here. Kind of pre-started the screws. Just line it up so it's flush. Okay. Tighten those up. So it just makes it a little more waterproof. A little thing here, hold it up. That's cool. Okay, so we have it pretty much done. So you can see the function's pretty cool. That's where the hens are going to hang out. That's the roosting bars. And then you can pull this out when you want to get rid of the poo and all. And then this is so you can open and close the door easily. Let that hang down. And then you have a way to get in here. I think we're going to install these too to give it one more latch. Just make it harder to get in. Not sure what this is for yet, but it could be for that. We'll take a look. So you've got chickens on the roost here. You go poo there, and then they have their nests here. You get the eggs through here. That locks. It's got a little spring-loaded one to hold it so the raccoons can't get it. And it makes it easy to get the eggs. This hen box is also supported on this model by these pieces, which is good. Some models it just kind of hangs off. Forgot one screw here. Oh. So it's a pretty massive, but should give them a lot of room. Good safety, good weather protection. It's like a strong unit. So you can tip it. Probably two people could carry it. This piece of plastic, you just push it in, and it's kind of cool. You can use that to seal that on a cold day. You can open it back up. And then these latches can be used up here to just make that a little more secure, so that if critter try to get in there, they'd have, like a raccoon, they're pretty smart, but they have to defeat 2 locks, so that could help. So put one here, put the eye there, and then if you want to open it up, lift that up first, and then you gotta do that one. So you're basically putting 2, and you do the same thing for this lock, but you would just put this in like up higher, like up here. Yeah. That'll work good. Go ahead and install this. You can just push these in probably. Twist them. You can pre-drill if you want. But if you just grab it, turn it with your hand. Pretty aggressive threads. It should kind of self-feed. Just gotta push and turn. Yeah, it feels like it's going in. And that's it for the project. That's just the last pieces. That plastic thing that moves. And we got these little latches here that you can add in. Some people say that even having that and this latch may not be enough, that you may want to even go beyond that. Because especially the raccoons are really smart and they can find a way in. Alright, I might use pliers to go there a little deeper. Gotta figure out where to put this one. So it looks like you can go right there. So we've got our chicken coop all installed here. We use the same paint to match the shed. And we also put in some pavers around it. So to make it a little bit easier to move it around, what I did is I had some extra 4x4s laying around. So I measured the outside perimeter and I cut 45-degree angles to make basically a rectangle. And then I put the new chicken coop on top, and then I drilled through here and there to add some nice screws to hold it in, and then added a little handle to one side of it and some wheels to the other side, so I can pick up over on this side and just move it around pretty easily. And that's just going to allow me later, if I need to get in underneath and clean things up or move things around. So pretty easy, you can just lift it up with one hand. Otherwise it's kind of hard to move because structurally you can do it with a couple of people lifting it, but I just thought it'd be better to have that frame underneath. So these pavers are just 1-inch pavers that are around the perimeter, and there's actually one buried right here that we can't see, but it's important to have bricks all the way around. And that's just so a big predator like a coyote or a dog or even some raccoons or opossums can't dig underneath and get to your chickens. The other thing to consider is when you have these latches, depending on where you are, what kind of predators are around, raccoons are so smart they can undo these kind of latches and even these kind of latches. So what I might do is either get a different latch or bend this in such a way that it takes a tremendous amount of force to be able to get that off. So only a big human could do it, and a small raccoon couldn't. Same with that, I might just change it so it's a lot of friction. But it came out really good. I think the chickens are going to enjoy it. Got the little roosts here for them to stand on. And all I got to do now is get the watering and the feeder set up, and then get some chickens. And I got to do some kind of nesting material, like some straw would be good, and we'll be all set. So I think it came out really good. It's a very sturdy chicken coop. I think it'll last a long time. Thanks so much for watching our video today. I hope that this video has saved you some time and money. And if so, could you please press down in the video description below the donation link and send us a donation so we can keep this service going. Thanks again, and if you have any questions about this repair, could you contact me at scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.